2014 final to Germany. So why am I so happy? Because in all these three finals, the one World Cup final and the two Copa America finals, they never even scored a goal in the game. It was all two of them were penalty shootouts. The 2014 was a loss in the extra time. So Argentina scores a goal in the final for the first time that I witnessed. So that itself makes me so happy, then gives me hope. And Maria scores and they're dominating and defensively they're being so strong. The halftime whistle comes and the next half starts. I think there was a goal that was disallowed for Brazil, was offside, and I didn't even see it. I could read it on the internet, and I'm so happy. I felt like I've had a second chance, a second life itself. It's almost like I lost my life for a bit there. All these things happen. I'm talking constantly with my sister, and she's saying, "Don't worry, they're playing well. We'll get through." And a pitiful thing, Messi misses a golden opportunity to score the second goal with 5 6 minutes left in the game. How would it have been if he had scored it 2-0 with 5 minutes to go? They would have been champions already. But he misses it, and the tension builds on. And I'm walking, and my relatives here are asking, "It's just a game." I was telling myself, don't ever tell that. Don't ever tell to me that it's just a game. My wife understands. She tells them to keep quiet. I'm walking, and I'm just walking and looking at the commentary. And the final whistle blows, and Argentina just won the Copa America. It is the first victory for Argentina as a senior side since 1993, and it's Messi's first victory. And I was shouting, and my sister started taking videos, and she was making a video call with me and showing the television live, and I could see the team celebrating and him lifting the cup. For me, it was over. I know World Cup is the greatest event, but as long as Messi, and I could see Messi's happiness, like I said, if he's happy, I become happy. If he's sad, I become sad. And seeing him enjoy it, cry, and lift the Copa America, it was brilliant. And that was the greatest day of my life. It was my mother's birthday, July 11th. How could it go wrong? And I talked to her for almost 15 minutes. I talked to my parents, my sister. They were so happy for me. I was so happy. I was on top of the world. I had to drive back to Mumbai that day. And I was like, I don't care what happens in the world today. I'm at the top of the world. So I come back and I make a nice video. It's still on my Instagram post. And it was the greatest day. Why it was the greatest day and it still not is, you know why. We'll discuss about that. But it was the greatest game. And even in the victory, I see Messi celebrating, and then Rodrigo de Paul, I think, makes a comment about Brazil. And in that moment, when they're celebrating to Messi, the champion that he is, the great human being that he is, the great leader that he is, tells Rodrigo not to make comments on Brazil. I mean, that's not right. He says, don't do that. Let's just celebrate. Let's just talk about us. Let's not talk about Brazil or Brazilian fans. It's in Brazil, and even then, he's got his mind so clear. And Messi goes and he does this thing carrying the cup, and he makes these small steps, small baby steps towards the team where the team is waiting to receive the cup. That has become like, uh, you know, their standard move now and how they celebrate. And I was hoping that that becomes like the new thing and they get to win more, the World Cup for sure. And that gets etched in my mind. It was the greatest day of my life. And I felt like, thank you, God. I mean, like, thank you so much for finally making this happen. And I could see the happiness in his face. So that was about 2009 21 Copa America in Brazil. And why it was important was later on, there were videos of, go check out on YouTube, and how Messi talks to the team just before the game starts. It's a brilliant video, and for people who think that Messi is not a leader and he can't motivate a team, And I tell this to my friend back in who sat with me next to me in St. Petersburg. He is a leader. He can make others play really well. He can uplift everybody's game. He can make them great players as well, like Maradona, better than Maradona. And so this video, go check out this video, the talk by Messi before the Copa America final. You type it on YouTube and you'll find this talk where apparently he's telling that, guys, this is it. This is what we've lived for. Let's win this game. And he tells that, look at all of us, you know, so many of us here have not even gone home for the last 45 days playing together in this Copa America, practicing, and a couple of them have had their children being born. They've not gone to visit them. There have been a couple of deaths in the family. They've not gone to visit. So we want to win this for the people. We want to win it for us. And he tells this amazing thing about the Copa America that should have happened in Argentina, and because of COVID, it got transferred to Brazil, and it's happening in the Maracana. And he says there are no coincidences. Everything happens for a reason. Why is it happening at the Maracana, the place where we lost the 2014 final? That's how he motivates his players to tell that we have to win this. Go check that video out. Let's move to 2022. So many things happen. After winning this, he loses the greatest position in his life, being part of Barcelona, because of Barcelona not having enough funds, and they had to sell him out. They couldn't afford him anymore. And apparently Messi was ready to take half salary and play, but they had to let him go because his contract was over. And there is Messi after winning Copa America, and he still has to cry here because he now has to give up his home. So, and he joins PSG, very celebrated like a king when he arrives there. So, a great year, mix of things happen in 2022, the year of the World Cup. And I'm still not thinking about the World Cup. I'm still happy here. I keep telling myself, I don't care about the World Cup now. Even if we lose, it's all right. We have won the Copa America. But somewhere in the bottom of the heart, the dream still is there. You know why? Because not because I want them to win the World Cup, because I know for certain that all great, you know, analysts in the world, for football fans in the world, will only agree that he is the greatest if he wins the World Cup. So I wanted that to change. So in June, a new tournament happens, just a one match tournament called the Finalisma. The Finalisma, which is the match between the Copa America winners, Argentina, and the Euro winners, which is Italy. And what a great year that was, 2021. Because just a few days after Argentina won the Copa America, it was a final between Italy and England uh, for the Euro final. And my dad, who's a Italy fan, I was hoping that he enjoys this and Italy wins it too. And Italy did win it. So both our dreams came true. And now was this tournament between the Euro winners and the Copa America winners in Wembley. And Argentina wins the game 3-0. They beat Italy 3-0 with utter dominance. I see the match live. And once again, the celebration is the same way. Messi carries this cup in almost like slow motion, and he jogs towards the team, and they together shout carrying this cup. And I still remember Peter Drury's comments, and cherish this smile, cherish this man, not many like him. And I was wondering, wow, they won two now, one more, the World Cup, will they be able to win it? And so a few months go, and he's playing in PSG, not having a great time. Very bad tournament year, in fact. Not many goals. I think he scored some 6-7 goals in the season. Never heard of such things. And he's been criticized for a few games. And I keep saying to myself, it's okay. Maybe a bad year with the club team probably means good things will happen in the World Cup. So we are in the month of November, and we are in this a wildlife reserve, Pench Reserve. It's my birthday. We celebrate with a cake with a couple of more of our friends there, and I cut the cake, and then so somebody there asks me to make a wish, and it was the sixth night of 6th November. 14 days to go for the World Cup to begin. And I close my eyes, I cut the cake, and I make a wish. And I tell Ranjani, I'm sorry, Ranjani, I didn't wish anything else. You know what I wished for. And she said, no, I know what you wished for. It's okay. So I just wished for the World Cup, the victory. And I've been praying like this every year. He's always a part of my prayers. And I said, just this last time, just let them win. So we we are in Wayanad. We are in Kerala. Just 5 6 days before the World Cup begins. And what a fantastic place in the world to be. Everywhere you go, you see flags, you see small, clubs, celebrating the South American teams, a few German flags, a few English flags, a few Portuguese, a few Spanish flags here and there. But it's majorly Argentina or Brazil. Posters, cut out so high, 30 feet high of Messi. I'm enjoying this whole trip in Kerala, going by jeep and then stopping at so many places, taking photographs, taking videos with these cutouts, talking to people, and they're awaiting the World Cup and they want Argentina to win. And this is lovely video, and I see the 11 members of the Argentine team all having separate cutouts, and then the coach, and then Messi in a big cutout. And that's their dedication, that's their love for football. And I'm so glad I was in Kerala, of all places in the world, just before the World Cup began. It was already like I got a big boost, you know, before the World Cup begins. And I took this video of me running towards all these big cutouts and with Messi in the end. And I just say, just God, let him win, let this guy win. The World Cup begins, the usual things happen, everything happens great, few teams win and everything. And this guy, Shaka Hislop, who is an ESPN commentator, an ESPN analyst, for the very first time, he says that he is betting on Argentina winning the World Cup. And he's the one who always keeps saying, when people even comment that Messi is the GOAT, he is the greatest, he tells, he is excellent, but unless he wins the World Cup, I won't be able to agree. And so this time he believes that Argentina has got the team to beat everybody else and they will win the World Cup. And so many things happen. And the very first game, it's a 3:30 afternoon match, and I'm in office watching, and I didn't like it because I like to watch Argentina games when I'm alone and when I'm celebrating and I'm watching it with a lot of passion. To watch a game in office at 3:30 in the afternoon, I don't know, but they were playing Saudi Arabia, and the very first goal is scored by Messi through a penalty. And it's halftime 1-0. They should have scored a couple of more. They did score a couple more, but both were turned offside. And then finally, uh, Saudi Arabia equalize. I'm so freaking disappointed, but I'm hiding it all inside because it's the office. I can't really react. And a few minutes later, Saudi Arabia score again, and I'm just short of crying here. And Argentina trying, but it remains 2-1 by the end of the whistle, and they lose. And I'm talking to my sister, I'm telling her on the phone, God, what is happening? I'm hating it. I'm telling my wife, and she says, it's okay, it's okay. It looks like it's the first game. They're playing in the Middle East. It's probably hot. I'm thinking of reasons. It's maybe all these things. And you know what? It was the first loss after 37 games. They are not lost since a loss back in 2019. They've been winning games. And here comes a team who's probably the best on paper, who won 36 games or 37 games before this, unbeaten. Unbeaten for 37 games. And they're losing this. And then I think of all things, and it's okay. The immediate thing that comes to mind was Spain lost the very first game, I think, to Switzerland back in 2010. After that loss to Switzerland, they went on to win the World Cup. So I tell myself, it's okay. Argentina can start winning from here too. They just have to win the first two games, the next two games, and they'll be into these knockout stages. And then from there on, they can manage. Things will be fine. There's so many things that are happening. You know, I keep telling all these things. I keep reading all these messages. Don't worry, Argentina is going to win. Keep telling many people that Argentina is going to win. You know, like this is the first time after 1986, exactly the year that Argentina wins the World Cup. This is the first time that Canada has qualified for the World Cup, and Canada is playing the 2022 World Cup. So maybe it's a coincidence, maybe it's not. So that happens, and then I await and I'm tense for the next game. And I'm thankful though there are no more 3:30 games, there are no more 6:30 p.m. games. All these games now are going to be 12:30 games. So the first game, they have to win this. And now it's against Mexico. Mexico is not a bad team. They have played very well against Argentina. Argentina has always ended up beating Mexico, especially in the World Cup. But I'm tense. I get up at 12:30. I'm sitting here. I decide, what do I do? What are the things I do before an Argentina match? I start wearing a t-shirt that I love. This that you see right here is the t-shirt that I started wearing for every Argentina game in the World Cup. And I sit in this place here in front of the TV on the center table. Nobody else around me. Start putting the match and I start watching it. I think it's almost close to 55 or 65 minutes and the game is still 6-0-0. And Messi scores the blinder, collects the ball from Di Maria from outside the box, flat out down the ground, right in the corner. Messi scores a goal, and I'm shouting. I'm shouting along with the commentator. I'm shouting without making a noise, celebrating. I go inside, I pick up a chocolate, coffee chocolate, put it in my mouth as a celebration for myself. And I'm enjoying it. Yeah, finally. All they have to do is win this game and win one more game. This t-shirt is already working. I say so many things to myself. And here comes this kid, Martinez, um, and he scores the second goal. The 2-0. And I'm happy to see that somebody else is scoring as well. Argentina is not lackluster. They can win the World Cup. They can go on. They can go on. Because now it's not just Messi. Messi did score the first goal, but somebody else comes up and scores the second goal. And it was even better goal probably than the Messi goal. You could argue. So Messi and Argentina win. And the commentary is like, they are back. They are alive. All they have to do is just win one more game against Poland. And they'll be through. The loss to Saudi Arabia doesn't matter. And I keep seeing all these videos where Saudi Arabians and locals are shouting, "Where is Messi? Where is Messi?" after the first loss. And you know what happened? Shaka Hislop, the guy, the commentator who did bet that Argentina will win the World Cup, after the first loss, changes the bet to Brazil. I can't believe it. He changes his bet. Why would you change after just one loss? But he did. But I was happy. I didn't want him to support Argentina anyway. Uh, and then Messi, I remember Messi's speech after the Saudi Arabia game. He comes with confidence and he tells, I know it's a loss. We have the team to win. We have the team to win it. We have a fantastic team. We are working hard. We won't let you down. He tells this confidently to the fans that we will not let you down. And that instilled a great amount of confidence in me. The game against Poland begins. And luckily, we get a penalty. And I do all the same things. I wear this t-shirt. It's a 12:30 game. I sit here in front of the TV. And he misses a penalty. I'm like, no, not all over again. Are we going to just win one game and then he's going to go back with one goal? But then things change. And McAllister, this guy, again, a new name. I'm just learning in this World Cup. A new kid comes and he scores a goal. It was brilliant. They are going in the right direction. All they have to do is maintain this. And then we get one more goal. Julian Alvarez playing for Manchester City. he scores the next goal. Fantastic. 2-0, 2-0. Argentina celebrate. They are through to the knockout stage. And the best of all, they qualified top of the table, which means they don't have to face France in the second round like they did in 2018. And they only have to face Australia. Definitely very, very much easier side to face. And then I look at few more coincidences. And thanks to the internet and Twitter and the social media, we get all these things that people are looking at. Apparently, it is not the first time. It is exactly after 1986, again, the time that Argentina wins, that Morocco as a team has qualified for the knockout stage. Morocco has played World Cups in between, but they have not qualified for the knockout stage. And now that the games are over and everybody is qualified for the knockout stage, apparently I find out that Morocco is doing it exactly after 1986. One more thing, Messi misses a penalty, right? Apparently, Maradona missed a penalty in the third and final game in the group stage in 1986. And also, Mario Kempes, the World Cup winner in 1978 for Argentina, apparently he also missed his penalty in the third game in the 1978 World Cup. So Messi missing his penalty in the third match comes as a great boon for me to, you know, look at it as a coincidence, not just a coincidence. Maybe it is a sign, the universe telling that things are happening the same way. So the group stage is over. Messi has two goals, one against Saudi Arabia, um, one against Mexico, and he has a couple of assists. So it's fantastic. But he's done this before. Will he do it in the group stages? Will he do it in the knockout stages? Is the question. So we get all set for the game against Australia, and I was wondering, I had to go and visit some relative, and we had to stay there overnight. I was hoping and praying that it's not there. I don't want to watch any game anywhere else except in my spot wearing my t-shirt. And that's the same thing that happened. And I was watching the game against Australia, and magical Messi, he scores his brilliant goal, collecting the ball inside the D. And it was one of the best games, the game with the most domination. You should go check out the highlights of the game, the way he dribbles, the way he beats defenders. He was back to his best, and this was the very first time Messi scores in the knockout stage. So I'm happy about that. They beat the Aussies. Now come the touch. Yeah, of course, they scored 2-0 thanks to Julian Alvarez, but there was a tense moment when, Australia pulled one back. It's 2-1, but somehow they win it. They are through to the quarterfinals and they face the Dutch. Dutch is a younger side, and I'm already worried. I keep telling myself, can Messi and go on to play 120 minutes and then the knockout, penalty shootout? So I have a few doubts myself. But here, Messi gets a penalty against the Dutch. The very first few minutes, I think, very 15th minute or something like that. And he scores. And we're leading 1-0. And within minutes, he creates an unbelievable pass. People even today start thinking, how did he even see the player there when he made the pass? Is it defying physics? He passes a ball to Molina, and Molina scores the goal. That's his first goal. And there are so many new young guys scoring, and I'm having so much of confidence. Go take up a chocolate again. I eat it. Wow, we're beating the Dutch. We're leading 2-0. Things going perfectly fine. And I didn't like it, but they pulled one back again. But this time it's not the Aussies who are not capable of coming back once more. It's the Dutch. And I see so much of tension. Messi going and celebrating after his goal in front of the Netherlands bench. Fights happening, balls being kicked into the crowd. Fights happening where Messi goes and shouts to players. And I knew that I was worried that there'll be few red cards or something like that. Thankfully, nothing like that happened. There were a few yellow cards. And 95th minute or probably the 97th minute, It was still regular time. 2-1, Argentina leading. They just had to defend this. There was a free kick given. Just defend this free kick. It was the last play of the game, and they'll be through to the semifinals. They come up with one of the most innovatively thought out free kicks, and they score 2-all. And I'm dying here. I'm talking to my sister on the phone, calling them. I'm saying, I can't bear this anymore. It's 2-all. But what do I tell myself? It's okay. Even if they lose this, we have the Copa America. It's okay. And after 2-all, the extra time, Argentina dominates. And that gives me the confidence, thinking, oh, they've not given up yet. They should have had 2 goals. I think both hit the crossbar and the upright. They don't score, but they go into the penalty shootouts. And Argentina, once again, Messi scores, and Messi is, like vengeful. And Messi and Argentina score all their goals, and Emi Martinez, the man, saves too. Wow, and he's doing these cool dance steps and everything. And when the final goal is scored by Lautaro Martinez, and I'm worried here because Lautaro is not having a great World Cup, and he scores his penalty, and we're through to the final. Sorry, we're through to the semi-final, celebrating here. And the post-match conference is amazing, and I see him shout out to one of the players like, "Get off, idiot," and all that. I'm sure you watched all those videos, and it's brilliant. I'm celebrating, and uh, amazing. After all these amazing fights, I start seeing some videos, and I start hearing some news that maybe he will be asked to sit out the semi-final because FIFA believes that there was some misbehavior in all the fights and everything, and there could be a one-match ban, and he might not play the semi-finals. Those are tense moments, and I didn't like it at all. But I'm hoping that none of this happens. So I'm checking my phone almost every 1 hour, hoping the FIFA doesn't ban Messi for the semi-final against Croatia. And already my mind is saying, okay, now we are going to play Croatia in the semi-final. And if we win, and I'm hoping that France will come for the final. And this is Argentina's chance to take immediate revenge of the 2018 World Cup. They lost to Croatia 3-0. They lost to France in the second round 4-3. So this is where they defeat them. Take revenge on Croatia and finally on France. But my mind also keeps saying, what if this becomes a Croatia-France repeat of the previous final? We've had that too. The 1986 final was between Argentina and West Germany. The 1990 was again between Argentina and West Germany. So what if this becomes a Croatia-France final again? I didn't want that. I was certainly hoping not. And then the day of the semi-final, me and Ranjani decide to go out to eat, have dinner. And I'm still tense. I'm still thinking about the match. I can't focus on anything else. And I get the bill. When I get the bill, I just open the bill and see, and I'm shocked. The bill says 1987. That's the amount. It says 1987. The year when Messi was born. That's it. Something told me that Messi and co are going to win this match. They're going to win the World Cup. It's a sign. Why would the number 1987 come? It's his year of birth. It's Messi's birth year. That's what I told myself, and I had the confidence. I came back. I slept off. Kept the alarm for 12:13. I got up. It wasn't easy though. They were being dominated. Croatia were playing very well. It was 0-0. And around the 20th minute, in the corner, because I have this habit of always watching what Messi is doing on the field, I see him hold his hamstring a little bit. He's bending down and touching. And I'm like, no. If things have to go bad from here, this is how they will. Messi may, be injured. He may be taken out, and Croatia win, and that's not good. But out of nowhere, he still pushes himself, and they get a penalty, and Argentina score. Messi scores. third consecutive game in the knockout stage, Messi scores again. And within minutes, Julian Alvarez, little lucky, but scores a solo goal almost from the center of the field. He runs through defenses and he scores a goal. We are too low. And I know something tells me that this time we're not going to let them come back and we're going to win this and we're going to go back to being in the final. The 1987 bill kept coming in my mind. And there it is. He creates another brilliant assist, beating one of the youngest defenders in the World Cup. The best defender up until then in the World Cup. A guy who the entire world was looking up to, called Guardiola, and all clubs were looking to sign him. And here is this 35-year-old, and he beats him left, right, and center. And he gives an amazing pass to Julian Alvarez, and Julian Alvarez scores 3-0. 3-0 defeat to Croatia. An exact revenge of the 2018 loss to Croatia. And they are through to the final. And I'm happy. Why? Because it was in my destiny. I had planned a trip to Coimbatore. My wife was already had traveled to Coimbatore a couple of days back, and I knew that I won't be able to watch the final in Bombay. But that's okay because I was not going to watch the final anyway. I told my sister at the beginning of the World Cup that if I forget, remind me. I shouldn't watch the final if Argentina is playing because that is what made them win the 2021 Copa. So I've seen them all play very well. If they reach the final, I'm not going to watch it live. So, and I come to find out that they're facing France in the final. Again, one more chance to defeat and take perfect revenge. But I'm still tense. I don't know what's going to happen. So in these 3-4 days, all I keep looking at is coincidences. And I keep coming up with so many things. I keep telling myself, Sachin Tendulkar won the World Cup. But not before he lost one very closely, badly. So the loss happened in 2003 where they had a superb team in the final to Australia. And now, 8 years later, they play the World Cup in 2011 and they win it. So, could the same thing happen? Loss in 2014 for Argentina, exactly 8 years later in 2022. Maybe that's how they win it. And I add the numbers uh, of 2011. So, what do I get? I get 11, 1 plus 1 plus 2, it's 4.